good. There, 4,000. We're up. Good. Welcome back for another week. Starting Thursday, the show. Okay, let's go this morning. We have a normal stream for you today. We'll be carving away on the cats. There's a little bit of, it's not really a show and tell, but yeah, it's a show and tell. It's a repeat, but whatever. We'll get to it when we get there. Remind me at the end when Cameron's here, and we'll get to it. Something else also to ask you about too. Maybe we could do this. We'll talk about this later, I guess. Let's do some work first. If I start talking too much, we'll never get anything done. So there are a few things to chat about. The tree. Ask me about the tree later on. Cameron will be here. We've got some mail. But in the meantime, let's get carving. We'd end my birthday, he says. No John today. John's still in town, I guess. We had dinner last night. We went up for some okonomiyaki. Nice, a bit overpriced. It was okay. But I don't know. He may be dropping in this morning. I think he's flying home tomorrow. I'm not sure what his plan for his last day in Tokyo is today, so perhaps he'll drop by soon. I don't know. We didn't specifically make a date. Okay, here we go. Carving some trees, some happy trees. Paper out, yes, paper's out. Thank you again. Always, thank you again. The once in 100 when I don't get it. The paper today is Beichan's doing the Monkey and Crab Bridge. He's finished the number 2 in the Pilgrimage series. Sugi-san's finished number 2 in the Pilgrimage series. No. Ishikawa-san's finished number 2 in the Pilgrimage. She's working on a back number, something from our catalogue. This is a Hiroshige design of women picking shellfish at low tide. And then what else is happening? Sugi-san is now, Sugi-san is starting her batch of Pilgrimage number 2. She has finished her Tago no Ura, and they are beautiful. I don't have one to show you here. They're up in the press upstairs. You're late to the party. The paper is out, the Zoom is adjusted, and it is a good morning. I said we got mail today, and it's a little bit embarrassing to talk about. We'll look at it later, but it's a bit embarrassing. The shop yesterday was really, really, really quiet in a really, really good way. And we chatted about this a while ago. This week is a bit of a special week for many of our staff members. Asuka Motoharu, the carver who runs a Takumi workshop, they are having their annual exhibition this week. He has it's a class of kyoshi of students, and they put their work on display once a year. They've rented a space in the Ozu Washi, the company that sells washi in the Ginza, a retail washi place, not making paper. And they rented a space in there, and their exhibition's on this week. And many of our staff members also take lessons from Asuka Sensei. Shiba-san, Teiko-san, Mori-san, Nakamoto-san, almost all of them do. A lot of our staff members are interested in printmaking, and we don't teach here. They watch me and they see what I'm doing. But the ones who really want to learn more about carving, they go to Asuka-san. Anyway, long story short, he's having his exhibition this week, so we have no Shiba-san, no Teiko-san, none of our veteran staff are here. So I closed the print party reservations, going back weeks ago when I saw this coming. I closed off the website for reservations. I just said, sorry, full this week. Which wasn't true, but it was true. We can't do print parties with no staff. So it's turning out to be really, really quiet. It's normally a quiet February anyway. The other day was hugely rainy, nobody walking outside. So the shop is deserted. So yesterday, who was here? It was Evelyn and Tobias. They're not veteran party hosts. They can do it, but they're not veterans. But it was Evelyn and Tobias and me, and no customers. So of course, it's a maintenance day. There's so much to do here. So we did a couple of things. They first did some packing for the flea market. Then I got busy and started cleaning up around my bench. While those guys, I brought some work for them down from upstairs from the collection. We have our print collection upstairs, which is going to be an actual gallery/museum at some point. Anyway, I brought a bunch of stuff down that was waiting for are waiting for organizing. There's envelopes full of prints, some things that we saw here on the show and tell some time ago. And they spent the afternoon in heaven. These are a German couple, Evelyn and Tobias. They're here from Germany. He's studying to be a doctor or whatever. And they are organized type people. So I gave them this box. Bam! There's the box. There's the empty file. Sort them out. And what it was a box full of those little small match label type prints. And the guy who is selling them on Yahoo Auctions, he's got an old stock from a printer's workshop of these. And what I would prefer he does, just put the batch on auction, let us bid it up and sell it. He's not doing that way. He's cherry picking. He's picking half a dozen nice ones, half a dozen junk ones, putting them into an auction and selling it. Nobody would buy the junk ones, but you have no choice. You have to buy the good ones as well. Then the next week he goes to the box, a bunch of good ones, a bunch of junk ones, and puts them up. And those of us who are trying to collect these match level prints have no choice but to do it this way. So this has been going on for quite some time. So we've got now upstairs a box of envelopes, all received from the same Yahoo Auction seller, with a total random bag of these little mixed match level prints in it. So Evelyn and Tobias yesterday, their job was sort this out. Keep a master set, you get a bunch of duplicates, what are we going to do with them? And they sorted them out really carefully. They can sort of read basic Japanese, so we're sorting them out by reading them what's on them. So we'll talk about it later when we get the show and tell part, but that was their job yesterday. And they were just having so much fun doing this. I'd get closer and I'd look over her shoulder and say, well, maybe this one goes here. She's like, shut up, I'm going to figure this out. Questions. Dee must have slept well. What? How's the new lady employee doing? I don't know. She came one day for a chat. She's coming back next Wednesday. She'll just go bit by bit by bit. And we don't hire people cold and say, good, start next week full time. We don't do that. She's going to be a shop staff or party host. So her best thing to do is she just comes one day a week for the moment just to watch, see, drink out what's going on, and gradually keep going bit by bit by bit. That's the crispest block there, crunchy, crunchy. This is some of which one is it? This is a block we got on auction. This is the inner core of what was a carved block, carved in, we think, the late Taisho period. I found it on an auction listing. And we didn't actually, because we liked we thought it was interesting, the part that was carved on, we didn't destroy the block. We sliced it into 3 pieces lengthwise, preserving the carving that was on top, and then taking the middle 1/3 of the piece of wood and using that middle piece of wood and laminating it on top of the piece of plywood. So the piece of wood that you see, the part above my thumb here, the 5 millimeters or so piece of wood that you see, this was the middle 1/3 of a plank that was carved during the Taisho era, which means the tree itself would have been born, whatever, mid-1800s or something like that. And now it's coming back to life as this new design. And it's nice and crisp, but interestingly enough, it's not totally a dried out husk. Even though the tree was cut around 100 years ago, this was carved in Taisho, which was like 1919 or something. Even though this piece of wood was felled and then turned into wood blocks 100 years ago, it's not some dried out husk. It's still got body to it. I think that's because this part of the wood was in the center of the thing, it didn't totally dry out. And it makes now for a beautiful, beautiful block of carving. And the original carver who carved his block back in, whatever it was, 1919 or so, he would have been carving like 5 millimeters above where I'm carving right now. It's funny for me to think of the same thing, If you can imagine me carving this now, and at some future generation, 100 years from now, some other dude is going to be on this same piece of wood carving it a little bit farther down. I don't know. It's incredible to think about that. The people back then could never, ever, 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 and I mean ever, have remotely conceived that such a thing could ever happen. The same piece of wood that dude was carving back in 1919. You could imagine some foreigner would be chopping away at the same piece of wood 5 millimeters below the level where he's carving. Just talk about impossible things. Trees. I'm missing this, am I? What is it? Worst cone alignment. Yeah, we got some sunshine though. We got some sunshine. Are the color separations determined at this point, or do we do it after printing this block? It's a bit of a special case, this one. I know it's not a reproduction of an original Hiroshige design, it's an adaptation of it. But Randall, the designer, Randall, I talked about this already, he's given me the line work. And when it comes time to color separations, we're going to go back and look at the original Hiroshige mountain print. And we're going to pick up the same basic idea. There's going to be a sky block, a river block, and there's some shading and tones in and among the mountains. And that's going to be up to me. Randall is not going to do that himself. We're going to look at the Hiroshige print, and I'll decide there will be whatever gray shading behind this, gray shading here, to give depth and 3-dimension to the mountains. So after this key block is done in a couple of days, I'll be printing a few copies off it for reference. Then we'll go back to the Hiroshige original, and I will make my color separations based on what I see there. This is not going to be a complex thing. It's not the multi-layering like we see in the recent prints we're making with Jed Henry. It's going to be very straight and simple. There'll be a blue block, a gray block, perhaps some overlaying a little bit where some of the gray might overlap blue shadows on the water. Whether we put a color in the cartouche or not is still an open question. It's not really going to be a colorful print. Obviously, there'll be a dirty blue-gray sky, a blue river, and some shading. I don't think there's any green on the trees. I don't believe. I can't remember the original so much. So this one's going to be pretty straightforward, I think. In fact, funny you mentioned color separation, because the other package on my desk, the one I just dropped off my desk about the tree, we're wrestling with that one. That's a very, very, very difficult color separation job. It's the third print in this year's series, pilgrimage series. And we've got our goal of 4 pieces of wood, 8 or 9 printings, but the original concept inside Jed's mind was similar to one of the Yoshida Toshi prints. And Jed looked at that as a model and said, okay, let's do something similar. But the Yoshida print that he kept as a mental model has over 50 impressions. So he sketched it and given it to me for color separation and said, that's good, let's make it look like this. And I'm like, Jed, that was 50 impressions. And Jed, of course, says, whatever, we'll do what we need to do. So the color separations for print number 3 are going to be difficult. And we're doing it in stages. We've already got 3 or 4 of the faces carved, and we're going to test print them. And based on what we see from that test printing, we will then decide what new faces we need. But it's not trivial at all. We're really wrestling with it. Middle school kids. Middle school? High school? Okay. High school, I guess. It's a nice sunny day out there. Yesterday, it's at the end of January here, but yesterday we had the door wide open because it was such a beautiful day. It was a beautiful spring day yesterday. We shut off all the heaters, opened the door wide. It was just beautiful. End of January. The world is upside down. some work done here. Hope you guys are too. What's this? I got the new monk in snow print yesterday. Looks lovely, but a bit of bark in the border outside of the printed surface where I didn't go. What can I say? Hey, I mean, this thing about the bark, you know, we have been comparing our prints to the best of the best of the best. Some of those prints in the past where the paper is just perfectly clean and absolutely magnificent. But we have the antique corner in our shop here, you know, prints from 50, 100, 200 years ago. And looking at them, honestly speaking, there's bark all over the place, you know. It's not the case that all old prints were perfectly pristine. Any given publisher at any given day would have ordered from print paper wholesaler A or B or C, and he would have paid for the top grade paper or a medium grade paper. Long story short is lots and lots and lots of the old prints have, you know, tiny bits of bark and this and that in the paper, or even misregistrations in the printing. We like to think of this perfect, pristine perfection as the goal, but in real life, so please don't think badly of your print there. Look at the parts that we've done. Look at what we've done. Carved a beautiful job. Made some beautiful color tones, you know. That on a guy in the snow, there's 10,000 dots on that print, and every one of those dots should be free of paste and smearing. You know. Cameron should be here soon. Yesterday he was really, really late. He came about 9:10 yesterday, and he brought the train excuse slip. We'll see what happens today. So, why is it so mad busy outside today? I don't really know. I know the bunch of kids that went by earlier, they were high school students, I think, on their way to probably the Enge Hall, the place where they do manzai down the street here. Bit of bark, yeah. Have I talked about that too much? I don't know. I don't know. It's funny, speaking about bark, that reminds me, on next week's streams, it's possible there will be a slight disruption in next week after the Thursday. The stream I'm doing now, next week. It's possible, I don't know yet. I might not be here on Thursday. I wrote a note to Ioannis on the papermaker. I want to go and see him next week, and rather than just drop in on him, I did this the polite way. I wrote him an email and asked him which day next week would be best for me to come up and see you, as in like Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And if he writes back that it's Thursday, then I should really head up there Wednesday night and or Thursday morning to go and see him. So in that case, it's possible. I'll let you know on Monday. I'll know easily by Monday which day I'm going to be on. So it's possible that next week's streams, one of the days I won't be here because I'll be up having a conference or talking to the papermakers. Ioannis on the papermaker. I told him I'd prefer Friday, but I'm not going to dictate. Those guys are busy people. And if their schedule says that next week Friday they're dipping paper and they don't want somebody hanging around, then that's the way it goes. So just a slight heads up that there may be a missing stream next week. I'll let you know. It would be the stream 1 week from today, if that's the way it does work. that's our door, right? Somebody's going up the stairs behind me. Did you see anybody go by? Was it Leichan? Suga-san? They usually come from the other direction, so on this camera you don't see them. When it's a Saturday camera, you can see them coming, but I think that was Suga-san's footsteps, not quite sure. Yeah, there goes the door up to the third floor. Cameron and Leichan yesterday took lots and lots of video. That video he's preparing on the T-ball print. They're still doing lots of, what do you call it, B-roll. They're doing lots of B-roll for it yesterday. And we're getting closer to having the next video up and running. Oh, here he is. Wow. Hi, is it that time?
Yeah.
Sugoi. People are asking, where's the cam on top? Did they mean the camera side? No, they mean you.
They mean me. Earlier, I haven't been making it out.
Yes, it was a train ticket day, right? I remember seeing it on your desk there. That they punched you with a train ticket.
Yesterday.
I hadn't seen what was happening. So.
Yeah.
What was it, a commuter disruption or something? Or QBO or whatever?
Just related to the weather.
Yeah.
So lots of rain and cold.
Here's the cam. Hey, before you sit down, can you? I dropped the package just now. I slipped off the front of my desk here. Thanks,
Color separation?
Yeah, it's number 3. I want to chat about part of it. Yeah.
Okay. Hide it. No, John Decker. I thought he might be in.
No, he's gone. But he's only done 2 days on this school.
True,
so what he did, we went for dinner last night.
Okay.
And he saw the weather report. He said, "I am out of here." He has 1 free day. So what he's got? He's got a specific view of Mount Fuji. He wants to get. Remember the Tabanahura from the one from Shizuoka?
Oh yeah.
So he's
headed out that way.
Well, that was the plan last night. I assume that's where he is.
It's a beautiful day. I could see Mount Fuji from my train ride today. That's usually not the case.
But no guarantees. Get on the train, out you go.
Yep.
So he knows that. He grinned about that. He said, "Yeah, that mountain is what it is."
Yeah.
Yes, I believe that's where he's gone. So we probably won't see him again this time around. So. We have a few things to talk about when we get to close the end of this tree. Now, I want to talk about this tree. Yeah. And it's really interesting because this relates to an email that came in overnight. Funny enough.
Okay.
We'll talk about it when we get there. I got some mail.
Hey, everyone. Okay.
I got some mail.
From nice.
I got
a lot of mail. It looks like.
It's what you get when you clean up your desk. We don't want to go to the desk.
No, I was going to say things look really nice over here.
Be quiet. Enough.
No, it's positive.
I walked straight into it without having to climb over all the.
All right.
Next is under there, but we got time for that today. So. Yeah. It's a nice day, sunshine, that last few days. It was a spring day. It's funny, I went upstairs, you guys are all huddled with the windows closed and the heater on, and downstairs we get the doors and windows open, and it was just so cool. Inside is colder than outside.
Inside was colder than outside yesterday, Do you know Jennifer Worsley?
I know the name.
Okay, someone just brought it up.
I think? No, American or British, I'm sorry. Nice, interesting printmaker. Sure. Well, somebody, is she here?
Yeah, someone just said, here's a young woodblock printer. I hadn't heard of doing some interesting, unique stuff.
Yeah.
Why is it so busy outside today? Has it been?
Well, there was a bunch of school students came by. I thought they were middle school students first, but their voices were too deep. I think they were high school students in the shabby black uniforms with running shoes.
Yeah.
And they've either been to the Kokkaido for an event, or they're going to the Enge Hall or something for an event. Yeah. I don't know. But other than that, I noticed it's a really nice day. There's been so many days of rain that people are, not getting out and about. So maybe today's their chance. I don't know. It's been awful. My God, it's been awful. The businesses on the street or anywhere who are dependent on foot traffic, they must be hurting so badly. Yeah. And then here, especially now with the Chinese thing, Chinese tourism is all of a sudden the tap has been turned off completely.
Yeah.
We're okay, but the people down the street,
been wild seeing the updates on that every day.
How do you know it's going to go? You know, as we said before, this could kill our tourist spring this year if they shut down the airports and stuff, or shut down travel to Asia in general. I don't know. I'm supposed to go to Canada in the middle of February, and if what I don't want to do is go over there and find that I can't get back. You know?
Yeah.
So we'll see. There's a few things I meant to ask you, but I can't remember now what they are. I was thinking, when Cameron Gates got chat about this, when Cameron Gates got chat about that, but now it's all just on.
Did you only think it or say it out loud? Could they be our memo pad?
I don't know.
Right now. Okay.
Don't remember. I don't know. No, part of it was video. You spent the day yesterday taking B-roll and stuff.
Yes.
Video, right?
Yep.
So it's getting in.
Yep. It's coming along.
Did you get a bunch of good stuff? Or?
Yeah, I think so. Could add some more variety and mix things up.
Okay. B-roll.
Yep.
Chatting with Jed last night, whatever day it was, my day, his day.
Recently.
About new stuff, but also we put on the table the discussion about next year's subscription series.
Oh, good.
It's like it's January. He wants to
start designing.
Yeah, I have two minds.
Better finish this year's first.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not to finish it, but I'm really
don't forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, Jed's enthusiasm for another series, that's wonderful on the face of it, but it's a squirrel, it's another new shiny thing in the way, and we've still got 7 prints to do this year. So.
Yeah.
So when he brought this topic up, I'm like, okay, but Jed, but I got out of it because what happens is actually Kawasaki-san has already started carving number 5.
Okay.
She's doing the color blocks for 3, one by one by one.
Yeah.
John-san's doing 4, and she's doing 5.
Okay.
So, and that's all I got from Jed is the first 5. And he's thinking, I've got half the year designed, we're okay, we're good to go, don't need to do anything more.
Yeah.
But when I told him, actually, Jed, we've already started carving number 5, which means, he says, what?
So
it means he has to get back to the drawing board, get back to the literal drawing board.
Yep.
So he wasn't really all that enthused about that. Because he's working on new projects with William too. William's fired up after being here for a few days, got some new paper and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So Jed and William are also cooking some new projects.
Yeah.
So Jed's got a bunch of irons on the fire right now. So Jed, 2021 series, you can let that one lie for
a little bit.
A little while. Yeah.
Although last year we did experiment with lots of different ideas and bounce ideas around all year. We've been talking about 2020. It's like board games and transportation games ideas and all sorts of stuff. So it's good just to have ideas.
Absolutely.
Rolling around.
Just be careful. It's younger Dave at work too. Oh, let's get busy on the next one.
Yeah. How many people in Japan are reported to have the coronavirus? I think it's up to 7-ish. Okay. I think 7, and including now at least 1 that was transferred person to person.
From China. Oh, no,
within Japan. Instead of all travelers to Wuhan.
The other thing I found very interesting about this is that, I'm not sure the exact country by country here, Australia repatriated a bunch of people from China. They didn't bring them to Australia. They took them to Christmas Island, and they're going to stay there for, I think it says 6 weeks, I think.
Wow.
And another country, I think, was it Britain or was it America? The flight that's coming back from Wuhan, they're going to keep them in the aircraft hangar. They're going to stay at the airport in the hangar. They're turning it into a field hospital.
Wow.
So these guys are actually quite serious about this.
Yeah. Whoa.
And I think in the Japanese case, the flight came back from China and out they went from the airport and went home. That's okay, all right. Oops. I think what they did in the Japanese case is when the government plane got over there to China, it was full of medical staff.
Yeah.
And they checked everybody before they get on. So nobody was allowed to board.
If they're showing symptoms.
Or if they had a fever or whatever it is.
Yeah. Fly fish for fun says, I've got the carving of edges and the outside of circles down.
Whoa, wish I did. Okay.
Yeah, but doing the inside of the circles is still kicking my butt.
That's tough. That's tough. And in fact, I remember asking Ogura Hambe, the number one carver of those generations.
Yeah.
He didn't help. I was going to help me at all. He wasn't interested in talking to anybody else. So it's not that he didn't help me. He said, whatever, who cares about you guys, whatever. And I did get a chance once to ask him that specific question. When you got this, where's my pencil here? When you got this circle, what do you carve first, the inside or the outside? And he looked at me like I'm some kind of idiot. It's the inside, of course, because the inside is more difficult. And any slight wavering or whatever, when you're carving the outside, you can make the thin and thick match it. But once you've done the outside, you now have to match exactly. You have much farther, you know what I mean? This even that thing I just drew right now, it's got a thick area here and a thin area here.
Yeah.
So you do the hard part first, and it's the same thing. You do the hard parts first, hard parts first, hard parts first. Period. So that when you screw up, you haven't wasted a lot of time, replacing that stuff. Mm-hmm. So do the inside first. And of course, it's a question about the angle of the knife. This knife I'm doing right now is not suitable for tiny circles. You got to cut that angle back way, so that you don't have too much metal in the wood when you're going around. You're going to break it.
Crack.
Yeah. There's no secrets. It's just, whatever. Don't put too much metal in the wood. Try not to stress it. There is a little bit of a thing. You don't just drag your knife around the circle. It's a leaning back and scooping approach to a lot of it. I can't do it like this. Rather than just mechanically going around as though you were imagine putting a knife in and rotating the block or something. It's not how it works. It's a three-dimensional approach. Mm.
Maybe break out the 3mm knife for the inside.
Well, I don't have such a thing. I don't have such a thing. They're super easy to break.
Yeah.
In fact, a few years back, my son has or had some of those in his catalog. He had like a 1.5 and stuff like that. And my girlfriend Sadako was working with him. She was doing the English for his English catalog some years back. I don't know if she still does it or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and she was doing his email English from overseas customers. Wow. So he's got the 1.5mm cutting knife in his catalog, and she and I are doing the translation. I said, look, you got to tell him to take that out because I know exactly what's going to happen. People are going to pick it up, they're going to buy it, they're going to put it in the wood, it'll break off straight away. It'll break off right here.
Yeah.
At this point. You put it in the wood push, and the whole knife will just break. So I said, he's crazy, they're trying to sell this. And she said, whatever, it's not my business, just do the translation, Time goes by, 6 months later, the catalog's out there, and now here's the emails coming in. Claim. I bought your knife and it broke straight away.
Yeah.
I told you, it's none of my business. So I believe he's taken it out of his catalog.
Yeah.
Or he's put a red star in there.
This will break if you are not a professional.
Whatever,
Or even if you are a professional.
Yeah, whatever. So and I don't have them. To me, it's completely, absolutely unneeded. Did I do the other day? It wasn't yesterday. It was the day before. The Spanish guy who was here, the Spanish family that was here taking all pictures. Did I tell you that?
No, I think I missed that one.
He bought a couple of prints too. It was so cool. A bunch of group people. At first, I thought they were Italian. I still get those two languages confused on first hearing. Then when there's a few words, Mark, you really realize they're Spanish.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them were twins. Like a group of 6, 7 people came in. 3 or 4 of them were gone within seconds.
Okay.
A couple more stayed and looked.
Yeah.
One was the wife. She was here watching me, and the husband was over looking at prints. He came closer, saw what I'm doing. And he gets his iPhone out. And he says, like, pictures okay? Pictures okay?
Yeah.
I say, yeah, sure, whatever. So I'm sitting here carving like this or doing something. And he gets closer and closer and closer. And he's like, got his phone right here, what I'm doing. And he says, well, look, scope. So we try and chat a little bit, And it was joking. I said completely, totally as a joke. He seemed to be a real friendly guy. I said, I put the knife down. Oh, and I was picking chili. I was cleaning up
papers.
I wasn't cutting shit. So I had done opening it up, taking the dirt out, and closing it back up.
Yeah.
And I made a joke. It's surgery, I said, by the way, if you have a problem with your brain, call me and I can open it up and I can fix it for you. And he looked at me and his wife starts laughing. He's a brain surgeon.
He's a brain surgeon.
And he's got one of these at work. I said,
Yeah.
not the exact same thing, whatever. I was just laughing.
Funny.
So I'd get up, we'd take a selfie together, and one brain surgeon to the other,
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
And his wife starts making noise, half laugh, half choking. But what's going on? Is she okay over there?
Yeah. Something as a total beginner that would be interested in trying carving, would a curved blade such as a chisel work, or would that go against the trade somehow? And someone said, I've made roundish holes with a small U-gouge, but they were not very good. But you don't use any of those curved blades.
No, the traditional Japanese carvers don't use U-gouges or V-gouges. There's the small, if you're looking at the shape of the tool, there's a little U-gouge and a V-gouge. Those are part of the 20th century tradition, and we ourselves in the traditional work don't use them. And it's not, oh my God, you can't do the job with that tool. I think in the old days, that simply didn't exist as a tool, which was the main reason it wasn't used.
Yeah.
But the other reason why we wouldn't use it now, why I wouldn't use it, you got your V-gouge, you're pushing it through, I can't draw a picture of V-gouge. You got your V-gouge, you're pushing it through the wood, and we know what kind of shape it leaves. It leaves a hole, a gouged out section, whether it's a U-gouge or a V. So you're carving two lines at the same time. You're carving the left and the right at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, Westerners, there's a dark area, you want some tonal shading in it, you gouge out these places, and it leaves white stripes. We're carving line work. Line work. There's no tonal type stuff in the Japanese tradition. So for me to use a U-gouge or a V-gouge along this line makes no sense. I'm trying to cut a line, so I simply cut one. I cut the line. In the middle is waste, and all this is going to disappear in any shape or form whatsoever.
Yeah.
So for us, that tool is not needed in any expressive form, the way the Westerners use it to put expression or tonal contrast into a piece of an area of wood. So for us, no, we don't have such a tool, or we don't need it, and it doesn't make any sense within the framework of the stuff we are trying to cut.
Yeah.
But Western, go. There's no, you can't make Japanese prints with V-gouge. Of course you can. I don't, and we don't, but lots and lots of Western people doing this, and whoever's the Matt Browns, the Tom Christensens, and Lena Schmitzes, whatever, I don't know. Go for it. Just I'm happy with the traditional group of tools.
Fly Fish for Fun says, yes, I was well warned about the 3mm, and I thought I was being pretty careful. Pop. Yep. Wow, Hangito are available in 1mm from Matsumoto. With a warning.
Don't do it. Is there a warning?
It says there is a warning.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is
1421 Ian says so. Yeah.
So Dave told Sadako, don't even put it in the catalog. Yeah, really? At last. Like what does it say? What does it say? Dave Bull says don't buy this? What does it say? Because that's the background.
I don't know. That's so funny.
Just don't even do it. Just don't. Just please run away in the opposite direction. You are wasting your money.
It's too small. Kurt Colt says, I got my first print today from 2020's new subscription. I want to say it's beautiful. Give my thanks to Alt and Pop. Well, thanks for your support of our work. The subscriptions are a very important part of what we do.
You'll find there's a claim letter in the mail today. Do you see that thing when you're on the train?
No,
I say a claim. It's a friendly claim, but he's saying, I think this looks like stuff that's probably not so good. Please clarify.
Okay. I'll take
and that's that's a treat. I want to talk about that treat when we get there in a minute. So if you remind me, say, we've got a mild show and tell, and I want to talk about that tree. So if you remind me at about, say, 9:10 or something, maybe we can...
What tree are we talking about?
The tree in this year's series number 3 print.
Ah, okay. Got it. Now I'm curious.
Well, you don't know about it yet. I'm sorry. But it's related to the claim mail. The claim mail that came in last night.
Oh, okay.
I say claim. It's not an angry, oh my God, what have you done to me? Yeah. And in fact, there was a sort of a claim in the stream earlier today.
Oh, okay.
Somebody got the Priest in Snow print.
Oh, okay.
The one we did, the new batch from Surita. Beautifully.
Yeah.
And there's some chitty in it.
Got it.
So, okay. Actually, it was in the border outside, which I probably saw and probably left alone because it was in the border. But,
yeah.
This person is not upset, as far as I can see. He just did like some clarification. You know?
This person may have asked similar questions in the past too. So.
Also, I don't
Yeah.
know anything, so.
That's good.
It's, with these Shin Hunger prints, it's really an interesting question. Some of these things, are they a bug or a feature?
Yeah.
This mottled printing that's in a specific area.
Yeah.
Is that okay? I thought David told me it had to be smooth printing,
Right.
And we're going to really, really address that issue strongly in the third print this year.
Yeah. Vivid KP wrote some quotes from the catalog, Matsumura-san's website. Says, "Caution with stars and exclamation points. For expert use, the blade is delicate. It may break very easily, and broken blades will not be
Okay, good.
replaced."
That's exactly, okay, if I were going to write it myself, that's what I would write. In fact,
Yeah.
perhaps that's what I wrote to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's on what? That's on the anything
Matsumura
below 3?
website, it says.
What side? Anything below 3 or something, or what?
Probably didn't specify, but someone said, I have a 1mm that came with a set I was given. I haven't even tried it, and I probably never will.
Don't. A 1mm hunger. We're talking about this, right?
Yeah.
There's a 1mm ice. That's a different story. These are okay.
They're,
We're talking about two different things, maybe.
Yeah.
The ice ski chisels, the chisels, 1mm is okay. I've got down, but we're talking about this knife, the cutting knife.
yeah.
Don't even think about anything less than a 4.5.
Yep, anything below 3 has the warning.
All right, good. Yeah, my message did get through. Wonderful.
So,
She and I have nothing to do with that stuff anymore, but we did
Yeah.
do his translation work for him.
bro.
It does seem busy out there, isn't it? It's noisy and I don't know, because of the weather, you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
What day is it today? It's
Thursday, too,
Thursday.
so they're not setting up the carts for the weekend like they often do, the food trucks.
Did you
and stuff.
see that the other day? Remember I mentioned it? Did you read it? I wasn't making it up. Did you take a picture?
No, I
No.
didn't have my camera on me at the time. It was on my way home, but I just
thought
got a
was
big
just
laugh on the
bullshitting.
way.
You thought I was bullshitting to make something up, but
No.
it actually is there.
It's
Sorry.
amazing, apparently. Really good.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was amazing, was the-
the Gironde. Okay. I could remember the adjective, but I couldn't remember. I
Yeah.
can't tell you the story, but I can tell you half the story. I went up for lunch the other day, came back. There's some food carts. I guess, right? Little trucks with noisy generators up back selling food. Recently here in Asakusa, there's a shortage of food supply. The restaurants on busy days all have lineups all around every restaurant. There's clearly a shortage of, at noon in the afternoon, evening, shortage of food supply. So
Friday,
some of
Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah, so some of the associations, they've put an open call out for food trucks, and there's now 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10
Yeah,
food
it's set
trucks
up every
scattered
weekend.
Up the weekend. They do tables and the whole thing. When I first saw it, I thought the restaurant's going to be angry, but crap, the restaurants are lineups all the way
They're
in.
full, yeah.
But anyway, I walked past one of these food trucks in there. There's a little printed sign, and I can't tell you what the sign says, but it's not a hand scribbled sign. It's an actual printed. There's a photograph of the thing, and it's all done in graphic design and printed up and laminated so it doesn't get wet in the rain.
Yeah.
And it says, what is it? Tarts, right? They were
I think cream tart or
cream
something.
tart or something. A picture of the thing, and then a 2-word, and it's an adjective that begins with F,
And then amazing.
and both words ended ing.
Yes. It was.
I came back and told Cameron the story.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, Dave is just bullshitting again." But no, it really is there.
It really was there. I'll try to get one tomorrow.
I bet every tourist who walks by
It just
takes a picture of this. Absolutely. That's it. I wonder how it affects their sales. Probably.
Probably positively. Because everyone's going to post on Instagram. I ate this cream tart and it was... and then just a picture of the side.
Yeah, it was
amazing.
How amazing was it, Jack? It was
Just read the
amazing.
sign. Go bored says, I finished my 3rd block today, carving. Seeing Dave wear that mist sweatshirt recently, I decided to do the image of the first CD sleeve from the sequel Riven. The my ink just arrived, so I'm going to do my first keybook impression tomorrow. So he's doing a carved version of
I have that at home. I don't remember what
ribbon.
it looks like. I don't even remember now. What's the image on the cover? I don't remember. You asked me to dredge of a 20-year-old memory.
Yeah.
There's one of the islands or something? I have no idea. Where can we see this? Where can we see this?
Yeah. If you've got pictures, send a link.
Page or something or whatever? Or I haven't been there recently. Is there a lot of action over there? Or?
Acolytes page? I don't know.
I mean, this is where all the people from the stream are supposed to be showing their work, right?
Yeah.
That was the idea.
Yep.
Acolytes page. I feel silly about saying that.
Acolytes of the Baron. It's not
I didn't make it
Acolytes.
up. I didn't make it up.
No.
So is Jed, because he bought this shirt for me, is he going to be responsible for a revival of Mist or something? I think he bought this shirt for me last year Christmas, and there was a 25th anniversary or something? Was it a 35th
I think so.
anniversary or
I
something?
don't
I don't know. Couldn't be that far back. 25th.
No.
Could be that far back.
There it is. That's it.
Oh, no, I don't know this.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I guess we've got, we bought the software in a box set. The box has a blue cover, ribbon, and some kind of photographic thing. I haven't seen this.
Huh.
So it's part of the backstory.
Too.
So this is one of the backstory things. See, I never paid any attention to the backstory.
Got it.
The legend of the Denis or something. Or whatever.
Yeah.
That was of no interest to me. So my apologies for not knowing more about this. That'll make a print. It's black lines with colors and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's the Chinese edition of it. It looks like.
Okay.
The country.
Okay.
Cool.
Might be different. Yeah. That should do for a print. Yes. A lot of fine lines there. Go for it. But how's our time, Cameron? We're still okay?
Yeah, just 9:05.
Okay. Give me 9:10 or 9:50.
So I'm going to take a picture of my black too. So.
All right. Yeah. Very nice.
Here's the block.
You got it here?
Cool.
In the street.
Yeah, there. Cool.
Very nice, very nice. What kind of wood are we talking about here? It looks like something soft a little bit. Basswood maybe, or magnolia? Cool.
Yeah.
And this is all done, it's this kind of tool, is it? We're talking about our own tools. Maybe these are some U-gouge. So, yeah. Very nice. Not printed yet. This is cool. Before
inside and outside of circles. We were just talking about that.
Okay.
That's not easy.
What kind of scale are we talking about here?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. Is that
Jump
an
down to the
A4
chat.
sheet or a postcard sheet or what?
Very cool. Sheena plywood from McLean's.
Wow, it hasn't gone very deep then.
So I need to work on being careful and clearing. That's where all the nicks to several lines happen.
Yeah, on plywood, absolutely. Yeah. So.
There's an 8-inch by 10-inch block.
It's A4, yeah, okay.
Cool.
Very nice, very nice. It's so cool to see this happening, you know, that just a little bit in part because of what we're doing here, people are getting into this and trying it. Mm-hmm. It's so cool to see this happening. Yeah. That's what the guy from YouTube or something, you know, the one I was asking about, the guy who works at YouTube who was here, who was explaining the AR thing.
Yeah.
Why that YouTube is promoting our videos because of people, the watch time and stuff like that. And then I had pointed out that I think I'm stealing from YouTube because I don't have ads.
Yeah.
And we're getting the benefit. People are watching our videos, but YouTube gets nothing. And his point was that it's okay, they want the eyeballs, they want the watch time.
Yeah.
And the conversation went further in that during my life I have sent out whatever X 10,000 copies of pieces of paper that prints, which is all very nice. But the YouTube watching and the YouTube communication going to millions of people is far more, quote, important, unquote, than the physical pieces of paper that we send out. And that's how the legacy or whatever, the importance of what we do is more important from the communication, YouTube communication, rather than the actual prints themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's news I really want to hear, because, you know, for me it's about this thing, about making it. If you don't make it, just talk about it, then there's no point in what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I guess our words, the talk, does have meaning because we are making stuff, you know, so it's a bit of a paradoxical thing. But to see examples like this, people actually doing this and trying it, and in turn they're going to pass it on and pass it on. And that could be the most important thing that we're doing here.
Yeah.
Although I'm not quite so sure if I want to feel that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a teacher, I want to be a printmaker. Construction next door, okay? The new crepe factory, crepe store.
Yeah.
I don't know, is it a chain or is it...
I don't know, I haven't seen any signage for it, but there's a crepe food truck like a 2-minute walk from here.
Yes, of course, right next to the fish and chips truck.
Yeah.
The crepes are the deal, they have been for a while.
They have been for a while, yeah.
It's not like bubble tea or whatever. They've been here for, you know, Harajuku, long 1980s.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's one of those things that is always around, but I guess now and then it peaks a bit more or something. So I don't know if this is going to be a flash in the pan. They've taken that old building. Did you look at it yesterday? I should take a look at it before you go upstairs and get to work, because they've gutted the entire structure.
Yeah.
Everything, right down to the
gone.
floor, right gone.
Wow.
And there is no structure there. It's a little wooden building.
It's just walls.
But there's no wooden walls. There's a little sort of things that we would consider the inside strapping of this wall. That's their outside wall.
Wow.
There's nothing. There's nothing. There's absolutely no building. So somebody's renting that thing as a thing that sort of keeps the wind away. Keeps the rain off.
Wow.
I was shocked when I stood looking at it yesterday, and I was shocked at how flimsy the actual fabric of the thing was. And this is probably a little shack that was built as a temporary shack, like in 1946, a few months after the fire. You know.
Yeah. So that fish and chips truck is still there. It wasn't that great when I had it.
Melons, if it's the same one, I don't know. Yeah.
And now it's 9:10. They're reminding me. Was there something else we needed
so
to do?
Like I said, there's a few more things I want to talk about. So let's do that.
Okay.
That folder I dropped on the floor, is it?
I brought it up here, and now it's run off again.
Yeah, that's... Okay, a couple of things. Jim, maybe I've got a print. Let me see, I wasn't quite prepared. The email that came in this morning from one of the people was asking about one of the prints of last year's series. And the print he was talking about was the one of
Nakasendo.
Nakasendo, yes, the Nakasendo. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay. And he put some photographs in and asked a few questions. And it's really relevant to exactly one of the things I'll be doing later today with this other print. So it's a perfect question at the right time. He had shown some photographs of his print. And one of the things he asked, I guess it doesn't show in the one I've got here, in one of these trees down there, there were some vertical lines visible. And they're sort of visible. Actually, I couldn't quite see them in his photograph. But anyway, what they were wood grain lines. The wood, we always carve on wood that is, you know, whatever. It has wood grain going up and down it. So when you've got the piece of paper on it you're printing, sometimes slight lines from the wood grain show. So his first issue was clearly wood grain. But the second one he asked about was in the middle of this green area here. And it is, I have to admit, the one he showed me was a bit different from this. This color here is a little bit smooth, and the one he showed me had more of a mottled pattern in this. And this is something that Jed and I, and me and the printers, all through this current Shin Hunger series, have been I think wrestling with is not the right word. We've been discussing and trying to figure out what to do. Cameron, can I ask you to go over there? Can you pass me, go into the Yoshida Toshi section.
Okay.
Yeah, and can you just lift up a couple of prints? That'll do it, perfect,
Yeah,
right there.
will do.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'll do it right there, thank you. And then can you grab me a Hasui print from, say, the front section? Yeah, that'll do, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so going back into the Shin Hanga time, we can roughly break it down into sort of two types of prints. This is many ways to look at it, but let me just, for the purposes, the Hasui Watanabe people, they in general kept their textures based on the old ukiyo-e textures, where it was smooth. There was no mottling in this sky. Is it, am I on
Yeah.
camera? Yeah, no mottling. So for the most part, the Hasui prints were made based on the classical texture of carved lines with smooth colors in between. That's not always the case, but most of their work. Can you grab me the pagoda off the wall there? Sorry to ask you to go for stuff, Cameron. Excuse me. Yeah, yeah. So this Hasui one we're looking at here is lines and smooth colors. Then another one, this is our reproduction. This is not a good one to choose. The original Hasui I have is all totally mottled color, but we printed it with quite smooth color. We went back to, because we want these Hasui prints to be smooth.
Yeah.
So that's sort of type A, or whatever you want to call it. Then the Yoshida family came along, and what they did, they took a different approach. It's lines and colors, but look at this. It's visible. There is a very mottled pattern here. And they did this in a number of ways. Some of it's done on the block. They took a hammer and hammered a piece of sandpaper onto the block. Or they put a piece of sandpaper, rolled it through a press. Or they took a gouge and smashed it. Or like in this one here, they simply printed it with a sponge instead of a barren. So that it didn't produce, the barren is the thing that produces the smooth color from all the repeated rubbing. A sponge will just leave a mottled color. And in ukiyo-e world, this is a mistake. In the Yoshida Shinhanga world, this is called artistic texture. And I don't say that in a sarcastic sense. That's the thing that they do.
Yeah.
So Jed and Dave now, we've got our own Shinhanga type series going on. It's just these random prints from my desk here. And as I said, we're struggling with it. It's not the right term. We're trying to figure out what's Jed's style. What's our house style? Does it have to be this one versus that one? And for the most part, in last year's series, we kept to the smooth color model of this, for the most part, for a few reasons, because that's Dave's personal taste. Jed is just giving me the lines and colors, and the printing and stuff is done at this end in the way that we feel we'd like to do it. But more and more during last year's series, we came across prints that didn't make sense to be smooth. And this one, I think, I made a mistake by doing it the smooth way. And had these leaves and patterns in here been far more textured, the print would have been a much more attractive and natural object. And me and the printers, Sugi-san and Ishikawa-san upstairs, more and more each month were saying, what should we do here?
Yeah.
What should we do here? And that one, the print last year of Hakone, we've got two. We've got Sugi-san and Ishikawa-san. And Ishikawa-san very much followed the Hasui's type. This must be, yeah, it is. This is Ishikawa-san's. Smooth. And Sugi-san put some bit more model texture in it. So the young man who's got this one, he sent you in the email this morning, in the middle of the green here, there's visible dots, as in modeling. Anyway, the reason I bring it up now is one, because of his email, and second, because of this month's print now in this year's series, where Dave has actually made an executive decision to say, and this is a color transfer block, if this is going to be green and stuff, look at this tree. Can you see that? Is it showing? And Dave has pulled an executive decision here. He's going to tell the printers, okay, boys, no Hasui, let's make a Yoshida model for this one. Because it makes no sense for me to have this tree. And it's not just the tree, it's all the other stuff around it.
The leaves and the
Deep
stones
and
and moss.
So we are going to have a go this time at printing this one in the Yoshida style. And I'm not quite sure yet how we're going to do it. First guess is we're going to use a sponge for rubbing this. They're going to put the pigment on the block as normal, put the paper down on the back of the paper. Instead of vigorously rubbing with the barren, we are going to sponge it, give some pressure, but not enough. And when you peel the paper back, it will leave this model pattern.
Is that how you got this effect this time?
Cool. And I've got to be honest about this. There's a backstory here. Why am I doing this all of a sudden now? This design from Jed has 3 key blocks, and we are really having trouble. The first key block is the outline of the leaves and the outline of the tree. But before we can make the color blocks for this, we have to then put the second key block, which is the outline of the shrines, and the third key block, the outline of the lantern and this tree. Why have we put them on? Why has Jed put them on 3 blocks? Because we really wanted to emphasize the depth of this thing. Oh. But it means we couldn't carve the color block for this area around here until we had all 3 key blocks carved and finished and lined up. Yeah. And that's why number 3 is late, because Kawasaki-san and I have been going back and forth. I send it to Kobe, she sends back to me, I adjust, get the next lunch ready, send it to Kobe, she carves it, sends it back to me, I put 2 together, I adjust, fix it, line up the 3, send it back to Kobe, she sends it back to me for the 3rd time back and forth, and then I do the final color separations 2 days ago and send it back to Kobe for carving, and that's what she's doing now.
I think we're keeping that delivery company in business.
that too. But there we are. So this one's going to have 3. It's the key for the trees, the key for the shrine, and the key for the front area. Cool. So the reason why is this irrelevant to this model color? Because this gray color you see here is the same block as the outlines for that lantern.
Wow.
So if we wanted to print a smooth, deep, rich color here, we're going to smash the fine lines of the lantern. Yeah. So I've said, this is a good chance, Dave, for me to tell the printers, tell you what, let's do this with a sponge. Yeah. And by the way, that means, and they'll say, oh my God, yes, let's do it.
They're asking, is this gomazuri? And also asked about midabori.
Yes, but having said that, the Yoshida print I just showed you, nobody would call that gomazuri. It's more of a textured. The problem with the word gomazuri is, in the ukiyo world, gomazuri is a mistake. Yeah. It's a defect. And in the other world, it can be so. So, goma is the Japanese word for sesame seeds. So when you see kind of a printing that is not smooth, that is speckled and textured, the generic term for it is gomazuri. But the one we just saw in the Yoshida print, nobody would call that gomazuri because it's a more steady. Those textures, the ones that are done with sandpaper being hammered into the block, every print comes up looking the same because the dots and white space are in the same place. Yeah. If you do it with a sponge, every one has a different model pattern. Yeah. So gomazuri, yes and no. So back to the young man, I'm not sure. I'll write him a letter. I'll write back to him today saying, in my mind, I don't think that's a mistake. In my mind, I think we're trying to do it. Okay, that's a good word. Good. Can I use that, Karen? Thank you.
No, I copyrighted those words. Okay.
But in retrospect, this one here from Ishikawa-san, it's too clean and neat. It would have benefited from having more misty depth, But we're struggling with this because David, anyway, is ukiyo trained, and he's a control freak, and he wants stuff perfect and controlled and within the lines and all that stuff, Mm-hmm. But I'm going to have to let go a bit. I'm going to have to let go in the interest of making interesting and varied prints. And the danger zone here, of course, is that we do this, what looks like a messier printing. Yeah. And it's okay, anything is okay, it doesn't matter. And you're going down a slippery slope about being careless with your printing rather than careful. So this is a dangerous thing. With the ukiyo tag, you can clearly see right or wrong. It's in or it's out. It's a binary decision. Yeah. With that Yoshida print we just looked at, it's not a binary decision anymore. Oh, that's okay. That's nice. Oh, that one looks good. And that's a dangerous slope to slide down. Yeah.
Saying, take a video of this technique. So maybe we'll have to. As they experiment with black
there won't be half our YouTube video. But in that series, the new series you're planning and stuff, yes, of course, that would be a good episode for that series.
I think so.
This style versus that style. Yeah. Although, again, doing it that way makes it a bit binary, which is not really the right approach. But anyway, describing different ways of printing. Okay, good. Okay, last step. Oh my God, we're running out of time. I cleaned up my desk yesterday, and as part of cleaning up my desk, I found literally, you got mail. There are letters that were on the bottom of my desk here that came up in the past few months that have not been opened. Jacques in the Netherlands, he may even be here. Lenita Shimizu sent me a Christmas card. I didn't even open it. This is Portland. It's Mark Kahn. They sent me a Christmas card. I didn't open these things. I didn't know they were here. Cameron, do we have scissors? If only I had a knife.
If only you had a knife at your carving
desk. Here we go. I'm going to be careful. I open it, says, Dave, don't tell anybody this, but
Yeah.
this is Mark. He's a real nice guy. Long time supporter for many years. He's not a woodblock printmaker. It's the usual Christmas card family. It's Mark and his wife and the two kids, the two daughters. I have two daughters. Mark has two daughters. Doi-san has two daughters. We all have these print collections. These two daughter compilations all around the world are going to end up with a bunch of woodblock prints they neither want nor need. Oh, okay, it's a personal letter, so I'm not going to talk about this on the stream, but a personal letter from Mark. Thank you, sir. He won't be watching this. I don't think he's interested at all in the streams, but there we are. Thank you for the Christmas card, Mark. Lenitas must be
A print?
well, she usually does, so let's have a look. Lenita must be a print, Bishop. It's not. Oh, Lenita-san!
No, this. Isn't that a print attached
What
to the
is it?
print?
Is it? All right. I spoke too soon.
Didn't look at the print.
No, sorry about that, sir. Where have I seen this before? Interesting. So, very light print. This is Western paper to show, is it? Does it count? I don't know.
I don't know enough.
Okay, without knowing more about this is going to be mounted nearby her because this is her policy. She makes prints of and around, stuff that's near and around her
home.
Doesn't say anything. Yeah, again, it's a family use. I'd say it's nothing of interest to the stream. It's Lenita and her husband. She's been hanging around Japan longer than me, I mean, I am the age I am. She came in the 70s. Went to a Kyoto workshop, studied the real thing in a Kyoto workshop.
Cool.
And has been ever since then, been a personal printmaker. Her name is Lenita Shimizu. She's not Japanese. She married a guy from Japan. So. And if you're interested in Lenita's work, just look her up. Lenita Shimizu. A ton of work on the website.
Yep.
We have some of her stuff in the shop here. Thank you, Lenita-san. Although again, she will never be watching this. This last one, Jacques, he does watch the stream. And I think I know what this is. Yeah, I can tell. He does the same thing every year. Okay. He does the same thing every year. He's a good laugh. He knows I laugh about this. He laughs about this. There's a place near him that sells like some Japanese postcards and souvenir stuff, and it's one of these.
Fun.
Last year it was Hokusai.
Okay.
This is one of those 3D glasses things where you pop it up, and you stick your nose in it. And you look inside, and it's got the stereoscope thing, and it turns the image into a 3-dimensional. And last year he sent me one with the Hokusai Great Wave.
Oh, fun.
The year before that it was the Hokusai Red Fuji, and you put it over your nose, and there's the Great Wave all in. And this one, because he's Dutch, of course, he's living in Holland. It's an Escher image. Jacques-san, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I wish you and your ever-expanding staff all the best for 2020, Jacques. But he's going to run out of these. They kept an infinite supply. This has been like 3 years in a row he sent one of these. Yeah. Jacques-san, I'm very sorry not to have seen this earlier. Thank you very much. Do you see how it works, Cameron-san? You pop it up. There's fold lines. It turns into a hexagon kind of thing. Yeah. And you look through the lights. Look through the lenses. And you got to get it just right. Yeah. And when you get it at the point just right, it jumps into a 3D.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Huh. There's more. Some of these I did open. I saw this one before. This is, who's this? This actually has been opened because I saw this before.
Very, very cool.
This one's so interesting. I've been to show this. I have no idea who this is from. It's from Britain, Swindon. There's no return address. It's a hand-carved, hand-printed thing. A cat.
Cat Santa?
Cat Santa on very, very thick paper. We've never met, but I want to send you a note of gratitude for sharing your time, skills, and knowledge via your videos. From a huge admirer and novice printer, Simon. He may be here today. Thank you, sir. Thanks for taking the trouble. I know no more of you than your name, and that you do stuff rather than just talk about it. Thank you very much for taking the time and trouble to say thank you. Thank you for saying thank you. Okay.
Thank you for thanking him for thanking you. It's Kanta. Cat in a Claus? No,
Santa Claus. So we're not going to go there. We're not
Santa Claus.
Oh, we showed this on the stream. Yes. So this came a few days ago while we were on the stream. This is Cal.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah. This was Cal's.
He's also been busy printing, right?
Yep. And we showed this one. It's Cal and his Banksy. He's got a Banksy rat with the stereoscopic thing. Hey, where's that thing Jock sent?
Yeah, do they work together?
This was good, Cal. I didn't have a chance to say thank you to him, but there it is. So there we are. We got mail. We should do this every time. If people send mail. So.
begging for fan letters on the stream.
No, I apologize for the people who I didn't see it. The stuff was physically on my desk under a pile of other junk. I've now excavated down to the bottom layer here. Finally get cleaned up.
Yep.
You saw that, did you? We don't talk about what's done. So he's laughing until it's okay.
It's really good seeing you.
All right, here we are. Today's Thursday. We're off now. We'll be back here on the... Don't laugh at it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'll be back here on Saturday morning with the camera outside. Cameron won't be here. And as a warning, as I said, there may be no stream next Thursday. I'll be talking about this on Saturday and or Monday. And Fukui, I'm going to ask you, I want to go up to
Oh, that's right.
And it could be Wednesday, it could be Thursday, it could be Friday. I'm going to ask them what's the best day for them. I want to go Friday, but they may say, Thursday would be best for us, in which case there won't be a stream. Yeah. I will let you know about that. But this is all in a good cause. I am going to go and have a conference with the paper makers. Woohoo. No bad deal. But talk about the order for this year and stuff like that and what's going on. Okay, guys, we're good to go. Cameron,
okay, we are out of here.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks very much. See you next time. It's been a pleasant stream for me this time. Yeah. And see you next time. Bye. Good day.